guys, welcome back. This is the long-awaited video that I have been hinting at in several of my other videos, and it is minis or nah. My kids are totally gonna laugh at me when I say things like shook or nah or whatever. Fleek. It totally cracks them up, and they make me feel a little bit old because they think it's ridiculous that I say things like that sometimes. I'm just being goofy. But anyways, minis or no. This video is going to be about which is better. Is it better to try a mini product based on the shelf life, based on what you already own in your collection, that kind of thing? And I have some examples and I have some information for you. And so yeah, if that sounds like fun to you, then let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing I want to tell you is that right here at the beginning, I'm going to insert a chart that shows you in general, it's not brand specific, but in general, what the shelf life of certain types of products are, like blush, foundation, mascara, concealer, things like that. I will enter it here and I will leave it up for a good minute. Take a screenshot if you want to keep it for reference. So yeah, I will do that. When you've got what you want, baby, I should start over. There's nothing left to want. Open letter again. You don't know what you want. And then just talking about shelf life in general before we get into some individual products here, I want to say you will notice in here that what is on the chart and then what is actually recommended by the brand and printed on the package is going to vary a little bit. But what I do is use my own best judgment, and that is by asking myself a question. Has the smell, texture, consistency, or performance of the product changed in any way? If you can answer yes to any of those questions, you need to seriously consider getting rid of it, especially if it is past the shelf life that's printed on the packaging. So that's how I make those types of decisions. My hair is a little, curly hair, don't care. But anyhow, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first one I have for you here, and a lot of these I don't have the full size of that product because I do like to buy minis myself, but I have a product that is similar in the size and the amount of product as the full size for each of these. So this is the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara. What's this? Yeah, Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara in the shade Noir. This has, for $14, 0.21 fluid ounces in here, okay? The full size, which is comparable to this CoverGirl Clump Crusher mascara, the full size Marc Jacobs for $26 has 0.32 ounces. I'm going to be inserting all this info on the screen for you so that if you want to write it down or you want to do the math, I am not a person that is very strong in math, and I don't want to confuse you guys either. But I will put it on the screen here so you can see what the difference is. But basically, you're getting a little bit more in here. Now, the shelf life, according to the chart that I inserted, is 2 to 3 months for a mascara, and I generally find that to be true. Even if they're marked, like this Marc Jacobs one, it says 6 months on the back, as does the CoverGirl one. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not, especially because it's reflective, but right here on the packaging, there's this thing that looks like a can, like a tuna fish can with the lid popped open, and printed on there is where you will find the shelf life for an individual product. So it does say 6 months. I've only had this open for a few weeks, so I can't speak to this one, but I find in general it's more to the general shelf life of mascara. They tend to last about 2 to 3 months before they start changing in consistency. So the questions we want to ask ourselves when we're talking about a product like mascara that we do have to throw out more frequently than other types of makeup is, will you use up a full size of this before the shelf life is over? So even if we're talking about the 6 months, will you use up a full mascara in 6 months? I personally won't. And I certainly won't use up a full size mascara in the 2 to 3 month mark, which is what I tend to find, you know, in that gap there. That's where I tend to find my mascara starting to change, to dry out, to clump, that kind of thing. So for me, I find that especially if I'm going to buy a higher end mascara, I'm totally fine with just getting the mini. If I have to throw it out in 2 or 3 months, I'd rather pay less for it. And then the other question that you're going to want to ask yourself when purchasing a mascara that has to be thrown out in 2 to 3 months, and specifically if you're going to buy a high-end mascara, is, do you know the formula? Have you tried it before? Otherwise, you might be completely wasting your money on this, which is $15 for a deluxe sample size. Right? No, 14, I'm sorry. But are you going to use this up in 2 to 3 months? Have you tried the formula? If not, you may want to go ahead with the mini. So hopefully that's clear as mud. I'll be looking down a lot because I did a lot of research and I have my notes typed out. So next is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting blushes or powders. Mini blushes go for $24 and you get 0.04 ounces. And this is the Ambient Lighting blush in diffused heat, which is pretty. And then this is this one in mood exposure. So I have 2 of the blushes and this is what they look like. Now for $24, like I said, you get 0.04 ounces of product. Now, this is not a blush, but these are the same sizes as the full-size blush. This is a full-size ambient lighting powder. The blushes do go for $38, and you get 0.15 ounces of product, which is almost 3 times more product for, you know, you do the math, between 24 and 38. So, but again, we have questions that we need to ask ourselves. But first we'll talk about shelf life. According to the chart and in general for powder blushes, they say you can keep them up to 2 years. Again, you're going to use your best judgment and watch for the product to change in a way that's negative. And then Hourglass actually says that their blushes last for 12 months, which is about half of what is recommended. So again, you're getting 3 times more product for a few dollars more. What? $12 more. That's my math. So anyways, so the questions we want to ask ourselves is, will you use up this full size in a year of blush? I don't know that I would, based on me and what I have in my collection, which feeds into the next question. Do I need a full size base of blush based on what I have already in my collection? Are you a blush person? Are you totally fine with wearing 1 or 2 different shades of blush all the time and that's totally okay with you? Good, you will save a lot of money. Or are you like me and you like to have options? I like to have blush options. I like to have neutral or warm, or to the coral side, or to the rose side, or I absolutely love this plum shade and this mood exposure blush. So for me, based on what I have in my collection, I may not go through even this mini one in a year based on the fact that I already have a lot of blushes. Also, would you rather have more product or more options? I like to have more options. I like to have varying shades of blush to work with, and therefore for me, it's worth getting the mini size so that I can have more options and not have product going to waste, if that makes sense. So for me, on the blushes, I absolutely think I'm fine with the mini size. You may want a full size for bronzer because it's your only bronzer and you use it every day, or like the full size of the ambient lighting powder that I actually showed you. worth getting the full size for. I will definitely use this up. I love this powder and I use it every single day. It's ruined me for all other powders. So next we have the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. It is a mouthful, but I do have it just the small one. And this is what it looks like. I got this, you know, in the candy aisle at Ulta, of course. I picked it up on the way out, or on the way to the register. So the mini comes in 2 shades. That can be a downsize for you. This is in the shade Light Neutral for me, and I really like this. This has become my ride or die concealer for sure. It is weightless, but it does give sufficient coverage. And then the full size, okay, so this is $12. Man, this is not going very well. I apologize. Again, we'll have information on the screen here, and I'm going to try my best to make things really clear, but this is $12 for 0.06 ounces of product. Now the full size, obviously I don't have, but the full size for the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer is 0.16 ounce for $29. This is one that I have by Pixie that is 0.13 ounces, so it's pretty close in terms of how much product you're gonna get. So this is the difference here in the amount of product that you're going to get. The shelf life for concealer, according to the chart, is 6 to 12 months. However, they do have printed on the packaging here of the Urban Decay one that the shelf life is 9 months. So again, questions that we can ask ourselves before we make a purchase. Number 1, do they even have your shade? The full line has 14 shades. The miniature only has 2. So that's going to count a lot of people out, which is unfortunate, but it's still a good concealer. And then the other question, again, is how you tried the formula before. Would it be better for you to try this out and be stuck with this small one versus, you know, purchasing this full size product? And again, will you use the full size up in 9 months? I mean, if you do big triangles, like it's cool to do on YouTube or whatever, if you do big triangles of concealer and you conceal up here and down your nose and, you know, all of these places, and you almost like highlight contour with your concealer, you may very well go through a big one like this in 9 months. Me, however, to keep the product fresh, I may continue to buy the small size because I do just tiny little dots under my eyes. I do have fine lines and wrinkles now. And so, you know, less is more under my eye. And so, you know, I use this very sparingly. And then the last thing I thought would be interesting to talk about is this little kit or lipstick duo that I bought from Kat Von D. Both of these are in the shade Mother, which is this gorgeous pink that you can see in this packaging here. Okay, so the full price on this was $19. I happened to get this on sale when it was $11. So the liquid lipstick has 0.10 ounces. And then the bullet lipstick, which is super cute. You can't get over little mini lipsticks. They're adorable. So we have this set together. Now for the full size of the liquid lipstick is $20 for 0.22 ounces, which is double the product that you get in this one. Okay, and then the bullet lipstick, like this, the full size, is $19 for 0.12 ounces, which is about 4 times the product in this mini one. So the shelf life that they recommend in the chart that I shared with you is 2 years. But Kat Von D actually says on both of the packaging of these products, 12-month shelf life. So again, you're going to use your best judgment and watch how the product performs, smells, all of that stuff. So the question that you want to ask yourself in reference to these lip products would be, will I use up a full size before the shelf life ends? My answer personally would be no. I have a lot of lip products. I have liquid lipsticks, I have lip crayons, I have bullet lipsticks, you know, I have balms, I have, you know, butter glosses, the whole 9 yards. which again leads me into my next question, and that is, do I need a full size based on what I already have in my collection? And the answer is heck no. I absolutely do not need full-size lip products. I'm not going to use these up in a year guaranteed. Maybe not even in 2 years, based on the fact that I have a lot of lip products in my collection and I like them all and I like to use them all. So again, we can ask ourselves, like we did with the blush, would you rather have more product or would you rather have more options? For me, when it comes to both lips, eyeshadows, blushes, I'd rather have more options versus more products. So I'm totally fine with buying miniature versions of lip products so that, you know, they don't go to waste, I hope. And then the last question, and it's a similar question that we asked ourselves about the concealer, and that is, what are your makeup habits? Like for me, do I like to wear the perfect one shade all the time, or do I like to constantly change it up on a daily basis? And the answer is, I like to use different products every single day. Now, I might become obsessed with one particular lip product and wear it days on end or weeks on end sometimes, but eventually it goes back into sort of the normal rotation and I start using other things again. And then the other thing to ask yourself is, do you like liquid lipsticks for every day or just when you need like a long-lasting product for a special occasion? For me, I don't wear liquid lipstick on a daily basis. I wear liquid lipsticks when I need to go somewhere and not be messing around touching up my face. You know, if I'm going to a concert or my daughter, you know, dances and we have recital days where we're there all day for rehearsals and then we have the show at night, that might be an instance where I would use a liquid lipstick that I don't need to touch up very much. So those are the questions that you can ask yourself in regards to lip products. I hope you guys found this informative, but hopefully I inspired you to just ask yourself some questions when you're making purchases. Sephora has a huge section of miniature products and I love shopping there. You know, I buy miniature blushes and lip products and things like that all the time. Sephora also has mini lip products on their rewards bazaar all the time. Which is, you know, a great way to try out different formulas and use your points to do it. And so, yeah, I thought this would be a great way to, you know, help you and help me ask myself questions before I make a purchase based on what I have in my collection, how much I use a product, what I use it for, and things like that. So if you liked this video, if you would like to see more minis or not, then like this video and comment below. I would love to do another installment talking about different types of products like liquid foundations or, you know, anything, highlighters, that kind of thing. So again, just to review, when it comes to mascara, I would pick the mini, okay? When it comes to blush, again, I would pick the mini. I want to have more options versus more product. When it comes to concealer, at this point, I would pick the mini. I, again, just use a few dots on my under eyes, maybe a little down my nose for staying power because I wear glasses. And then for the lip products, I absolutely love minis, especially liquid lipsticks, because I'm not going to go through them fast enough, you know, to be wasting all of that extra product. And, you know, minis are cheaper. Wouldn't you rather have more, or at least I should say, I would rather have more options in my collection, even if it involves buying minis versus all of these full-size products and I'm spending more money, therefore I have less money to spend on other things. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you really enjoyed this. I will insert all of the things that I said I would, and have a great day. Don't forget to wear your sunscreen, kids.